David. The name itself echoes through history. He was a shepherd boy who became a mighty king, a warrior and a poet, known for his courage and his psalms. The Bible calls him a man after God's own heart. This title speaks about his deepest desire. David loved God, he sought God. When he fell, he reached back to God. His heart was tuned to God's heart. He wanted what God wanted. It was about a faithful pursuit. David's journey is a story of God's amazing grace. It is a story of human weakness and powerful restoration. His story is a timeless lesson for every one of us. We see ourselves in David, we see our struggles and hopes. David's life shows us that God doesn't look for perfect people. He looks for willing hearts. This is good news for all of us. So, let's explore David's life. David's story is an invitation to find our own heart for God. David's story begins in quiet fields. He was the youngest son of Jesse, a shepherd boy. His days were spent with sheep. He protected them, learning courage and patience. He fought off lions and bears. He learned to depend on God. These moments shaped him. God was quietly working in his life. Then came the prophet Samuel. God sent Samuel to Jesse's house to anoint the next king of Israel. Jesse brought his sons before Samuel, but God said no to each of them. Finally, Jesse remembered David. He was out in the fields. When David arrived, God spoke to Samuel. "Arise, anoint him, for this is the one." Samuel anointed David. The Spirit of the Lord came upon David from that day forward. A shepherd boy chosen to be king. It shows that God can use anyone. He chooses the unlikely. He sees potential where we see ordinariness. This is God's way. One of David's most famous moments came early. The Philistine army threatened Israel with a giant warrior named Goliath. All the Israelite soldiers were afraid. Then David arrived. He was just a youth. He heard Goliath's challenges. David was not afraid. He trusted God. David faced Goliath with only a sling and stones. Goliath laughed at him. With one smooth stone, David defeated the giant. This victory showed that God's power is greater than any human strength. David's life was also marked by a beautiful friendship with Jonathan, King Saul's son. Because of Saul's jealousy, David had to flee. He spent years as a fugitive. These were hard times, but David did not lose his faith. He continued to trust God and wrote many psalms during this period. God uses difficult times to strengthen us. After many years of waiting and hardship, David finally became king. He united the nation and established Jerusalem as the capital. Israel prospered under his rule. He was a strong leader and a skilled military commander. However, even good leaders can make terrible mistakes. One day he saw a beautiful woman named Bathsheba. He desired her, knowing she was married to Uriah, one of his loyal soldiers. David committed adultery with Bathsheba. To cover up his sin, David arranged for Uriah to be killed in battle. The man after God's own heart had fallen. God did not let David's sin remain hidden. He sent the prophet Nathan to confront David. Nathan told David a story about a rich man who stole a poor man's lamb. David was angry at the rich man in the story. Then Nathan said, "You are the man." David was caught. His sin was exposed. This was a moment of truth. How would David respond? This moment would define his heart. Even the best among us can stumble badly. It reminds us of the destructive power of sin. When Nathan confronted David, David confessed his sin. He said, "I have sinned against the Lord." These words began his journey back to God. True repentance starts with honest confession. David's heart could still turn back. His repentance was deep and sincere. Expressed powerfully in Psalm 51, he prayed, "Have mercy on me, O God, create in me a pure heart." He had sinned against God himself. His sorrow was genuine. His desire for forgiveness was real. He longed to be restored to God. Being a man after God's heart did not mean sinless. It meant his heart was oriented towards God. When he sinned, he repented. He did not let pride keep him from seeking forgiveness. David faced the consequences of his sin, but God forgave him. God restored him. David's story shows us that failure is not final. David's story is a rich tapestry. It shows faith and failure. It displays great love and deep regret. Why does his story still speak to us today? It is because David is so human. He is relatable. We see his struggles. We recognize our own weaknesses and his mistakes. We also see his incredible faith. We see his deep love for God. This combination makes his life a powerful source of inspiration and learning. From David we learn that God can use anyone. He chose a shepherd boy. He can use us no matter our background. We learn to face our Goliaths with faith. Our giants might be different. They might be challenges at work or in our families. They might be personal struggles, but God's power is still available. David's fall teaches us about the danger of sin, but more importantly, his repentance teaches us about God's incredible grace. God is always ready to forgive. David's song continues to echo,